Hello and welcome to episode 148 of NOLA Time. My name is Ovid Velez and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, Obed? Good to be with you again, sir.
Good to see you, man. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy week indeed, man. So before we begin, I'm sure that you guys saw, if you're watching the live version of the podcast. Unfortunately, we received the news over the weekend that Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, passed away. Unfortunately, at the age of 42, due to colon cancer that he's been battling for 4 years. No one knew anything, not even Marvel. Um, he was expecting to get it better, to beat it. Unfortunately, he was not able to. Very bummed that it happened. Hit his heart, everyone, because we're all big fans. So I just want to get that out of the way, Joel. I don't know if you want to say anything else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so much that absolutely could be said, but like exactly what you said, Obed. It was a really sad news to get over the weekend, and the moment I saw it, I think all of us had the same reaction. Is this true? This can't be true, really. It was a huge shock factor. So it definitely hit me, in a big shocking way. But looking over, who Chadwick is and who he was, and his legacy is definitely going to be remembered cinematically. This guy is the Black Panther. I mean, they can do anything else in the future, but he really set the bar in a special way, and I'm so happy that in my lifetime I got to experience him as a Black Panther, and thankfully as well. Yes, of course, I wish I could have seen him in more stuff. I wish he could have been around more. He had so much to contribute to society in this the creative way, but I'm thankful that I got to see him, outside of Marvel films, but from a Marvel fan standpoint, of course, seeing him in four different films as the Black Panther, which is really awesome that we got to experience that. Yeah, man, it's not gonna be the same watching those movies.
No.
Seeing him, you know,
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
forever.
Kind of forever. The other news, someone else passed away over the weekend, was announced.
Yeah.
Norm Spencer, who did the voice for Cyclops
Yep.
in the 90s animated X-Men TV show, as well as the Capcom fighting games, passed away as well. So we want to take the time and acknowledge that too. So, rest in peace, both of them. And they were definitely be missed. But bum, bumming intro apart, Joe, what's up, man?
Yeah, dude. It's been like you said, it's been a busy week for sure. This last weekend, I went ahead and took advantage of Nintendo. They had a sale going on their online store for multiplayers. That ended over the weekend. So I went in and picked up Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I thought that would be a pretty funny one to grab, considering that it's supposed to be for a 2020,
2020.
Tokyo
Yeah,
Olympics, and obviously
yeah,
we all know 2020. Enough said there, but yeah, I played Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. The one that they did, I want to say it was for Beijing. I think was the first one I remember doing. I was on Wii
on Wii,
from a while ago. I believe.
2008 probably. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that one I remember playing, and it's one of those like nostalgic things. It's like it's a lot of fun, but like you look back on it, you're like, yeah, like
it's
it was cool
it's
for its time, but
yeah,
obviously it's cool to see something like this where they take the same um it's not the same. It's Mario, right? The intellectual property goes everywhere, Mario and Sonic. But like, see them take the same concept and do it again in a modern way. Obviously, they did it for Brazil also. But I
Rio.
never
Yeah,
played that one. But yeah, this one was really a lot of fun. They've got plenty of different games that you get to play on there. I love that it did remind me of like when I play on Wii, right? Like when you would have the motion controls and bringing that into that fun multiplayer feel. So like this is a great party game as well. Like if you have friends or
yeah.
family, you want to play something fun. I mean, Mario games tend to be that way, but this one for sure is one of them that you can just pick up there's like 4 controls that you have for the whole thing. It doesn't mean that it's easy just because it's those 4 controls. It's quite specific, but it's still a really fun time. And yeah, I was glad I was able to play that over the weekend for sure. So that was a little fun there.
Nice. Cool. Um, I have a few things going on.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
All right. Let's start with TV because I'm actually watching TV shows now, Joel. Um, I started watching Cobra Kai because it's on Netflix. I really like it. I
Wow.
really like it. It's like a nostalgia kick to the face. Literally, it's really good. It's really good. I am really enjoying it. I'm about 6 episodes in on that first season. Um, really enjoying it. It's good to see how the dynamic, how it things played out in the future, right? In the canon Karate Kid, future Karate Kid it's definitely in my top 10. The original movie, it really holds a special place in my heart. I really love that movie. Um, so started watching that, and it's cool that they actually went with the that theory that was running around the internet for a while that Daniel LaRusso is actually the bad guy, and they kind of started with that, with like him being, not a bad guy, but like he's kind of like shady and still holds resentment against Johnny and Cobra Kai and whatnot. But I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. Not gonna spoil anything else. Um, like I said, it's their episodes are super short. There's like 22-minute episodes on Netflix right now. And there's a new season coming. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you're a fan of the original movies. I highly recommend you checking it out because it's really good. Joel, I also started watching The Boys on Amazon.
On Amazon, okay.
Yeah, I went ahead and got Prime last week, and that's how I watched, because we talked offline about, I watched the MI with Henry Cavill and whatnot. So that's how I watched it. Have you watched The Boys?
I have not. That someone actually recently asked me about it, and I was like, I'm not rushing to watch it, but it's something I would
Okay.
like to watch.
All right. I was not expecting it to be so gruesome. It's hardcore. This is like, if this was a movie, this would be NC-17, because
Wow.
they go all out, all freaking out, dude. They nothing is sacred. It's great. It's so I'm really enjoying it. I watched 4 episodes, I think. Um, really enjoying it, man. It's crazy thing is, right, is that it's not violent for violence sake, and it's not, you know mature for to keep it PG in the podcast. Um, just to be like that, it just actually tries to prove a point and hammer a point. Basically, this is kind of like Injustice. Like, this is,
Mm.
the only thing is that Superman's still being held on a leash, versus in Injustice, he just basically took over the entire world. So it's kind of like that. So if you are familiar with Injustice, um, yeah, it's like it's dark, it's funny, it's like it has that dark humor that I really enjoy. So I mean, I'm not. You know me. We've worked together for 5 years.
Oh
So we you know the type of humor that I have. My wife knows, and she gets upset every once in a while with me. Uh, but what people don't really realize is that I have a really dark sense of humor, and I don't show it because I want to keep boundaries, right? Unless you're like Joel, it's like, so whatever. But I am really enjoying it, man. It's like, so I've been taking my daughter to school in the mornings, and then coming back, watching The Voice, and then jumping into work. So it's basically been my mornings for the entire week. Uh, I really recommend it because you said you're not like trying to jump into it, because it's like, if you change the characters to like DC characters, it's like freaking mind blowing, bro. Uh, but it's great. It's great. I recommend that.
And season 2 came out recently.
Yes, yeah. I don't know how many episodes are there on season 1. Like I said, I'm 4 episodes in, so we'll see. Production value on this thing is like through the friggin' roof, man.
It's Amazon, dude. They're the richest people out there.
yeah,
like if they want to drop a bunch of money on a series, they can.
Yeah, it's like no spare no expense on this one, man.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Gaming things of note. Still going at Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Joe, so Street Fighter V is free on PSN this month.
Yep.
PSA, you just go ahead and download it, and you get basically all the included characters, and you get the story mode and arcade mode, and you get pretty much you get everything you get on Champion Edition, minus the characters and the stages. So, but you get everything else. So I highly recommend you download that game for free. It's good. Joe, I went ahead and ran updates on it. On my, like, you know how you have to run updates on PlayStation before you jump in? So I run updates on it, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna jump in tomorrow. It's been 85 years, but I will jump in tomorrow. I think I'll make some noise.
Hey, shoot me a message. Tell me how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or you'll make me wait till the next episode we record.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I could.
I look forward to hearing
Street Fighter experience after 4 years of not playing it. So we'll see how that goes. Other thing to note, Joel, on Game Pass, I downloaded Killer Instinct, the Killer Instinct that came out for Xbox and then came out for PC. Well, after that, it's really good. That game is really good, man. I'm really enjoying it. I thought the combos were a lot harder to pull off. You just gotta get creative with the button combinations and the special moves, and you pull them off. I haven't pulled an Ultra yet, but yeah, I played a few like single player story mode things, and yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. I am happy to say that game is probably the best Xbox game I played. Wow. So far is definitely the best game that at least I've played on Game Pass. So, and it's funny because it's an Xbox One launch title or launch window title. So yeah, man, it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. Other thing, do you remember Super Lucky's Tale that came out a few years ago for Xbox? There's a Switch version that came out. Mm-hmm. So the version that came out on the Switch is on Game Pass. So I started playing that with my daughter, and it's actually a very good game. It's very good. It's a kid's game, but it's well designed. My daughter's enjoying it. She's like, "Hey, let's play Super Lucky Tales." She got really confused because she thought that Lucky was actually Tails from Sonic because they're foxes, and they kind of look the same. So I was like, "Wait a second. So this is not Tails, but it's Super Lucky's tail." So she put 2 and 2 together. It's like, oh, okay, I see. But it's enjoyable. It's a cute little game, man. So
look at you using Xbox Game Pass,
dude. I'm taking advantage of it.
See, guys, we're not exclusive over here. We're try different stuff out.
I mean, granted, it's Game Pass on PC, so
I know,
yeah.
But it's still like shows that we've got diversification in our gaming,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that Xbox controller. I've been having issues with connectivity with the DualShock 4. Again, it keeps dropping Bluetooth, so I don't know why, right? Because my mouse is Bluetooth, but for some reason the DualShock just keeps dropping, and I've been having a hard time just getting that to work properly. So I'm probably just gonna grab an Xbox controller whenever I see them on sale.
How much are those things now?
They're like, I saw them at like $50 at BJ's, so it's not too bad. And they come with a USB-C cable. Mm-hmm. That you can just plug it into the PC with a USB-C, so it's fine. But yeah, man, that's what I got. I'll let you know how Street Fighter is if I actually play it, unless I go back to Ghost of Tsushima.
Do it, man.
Because Ghost of Tsushima is real freaking good, man. It's so good. But yeah, it's what I got from my end. Do you want to go ahead and jump in?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go right into our first topic.
Cool. So, Mando season 2, we finally got a release date for that, October 30th. I am very much looking forward to it. I really want to see a trailer. I don't know why they didn't release a trailer, because we're like a month and a half, not a month and a half, but 5 weeks away technically.
Yeah.
They should have given us at least a trailer just to get us hyped. Show a silhouette of a certain character, and I'll be happy with that. So that's all you need to do.
Yeah, I actually expect it to be this weekend. There's no basis for it, but me just simply saying it's a holiday weekend. It's typically Star Wars trailers have been associated with sporting events. Whether it be a football game right now, obviously the NBA playoffs going on. So that's what prior rumors were, that it was going to be with the playoffs at some point. It has yet to happen, but I still believe that it wouldn't surprise me on Labor Day or tomorrow or whatever that it comes out over this weekend, for sure. That new trailer, great date. That they're sticking to that October 30th time frame. There's no point not to, right? Like,
Yeah.
at this point, you might even want to move it earlier if you could. Obviously, I know that Disney has an intention for why they have it out that time, but I'm just saying, like, people are home. People are looking for new stuff. New Disney Plus subscribers coming in for Mulan, for this coming out this weekend, which I will more than likely be checking out. So I'll probably drop a little review for us on here.
So I heard that or some people earlier today that actually went to a screening back in like March, and they're saying that it's the best out of the live action Disney movies.
I saw that from comicbook.com. I know.
Okay.
So they had a pretty good review on it early as well.
Well,
yeah, I look forward to checking it out. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, I look forward to checking that out. And yeah, I mean, but my point being is a lot of people that it's gonna be their first time, maybe subscribing to Disney Plus just for Mulan this weekend, and they'll probably stick with it. And if you're saying, check out Mandalorian season 1, it'll be their first time watching it. They're gonna love it because it's great. And then, guess what, guys? Coming next month in October, you've got season 2. It's cool the image that came out, because for season 1, that logo has simply just Mando, and then for this one has Mando and the child, Baby Yoda, being with him there. Dude, okay, they don't have to show much with this trailer, right? I'll just speculate for a few seconds here.
Yeah.
They don't have to show much. We're already in. But dude, if they just have one shot of Baby Yoda with a lightsaber, dude. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna have a lightsaber. But if he's holding Ahsoka's lightsaber, something, just one shot, dude.
All I need to see is it's a white lightsaber igniting. That's all I gotta see.
There's a lot of things that they could do in theory, but
freak
for me,
out,
man, set the internet on fire, bro.
Oh man, yeah. Definitely looking forward to this one, man. Speaking of Star Wars, did you see the illustration of Yoda, young Yoda that came out
for the High Republic book series?
It looks really good. Really good. Yeah. They confirmed that it is indeed a book series, and there's like, quote unquote, no plans to bring that to movies. We'll see how that goes, but I want to touch into John Boyega's interview that came out over the last couple of days, and it's basically the same thing that everyone's been saying, and it's the same thing that Overlord DVD and all these guys have been saying for forever, right? There's other like clickbait YouTube channels that run on Star Wars news, but they're mostly clickbait, and I mean they have like zero credibility, if you catch my drift. I think so far what we've been hearing from Overlord DVD it's been pretty reliable, and John Boyega confirms it, that everything was running well until Rian Johnson came on board, and that's what we heard from back when, that the actors weren't happy with him. Mark Hamill wasn't happy. John Boyega now confirms that he was not happy. That feels that characters of color like Finn and Rose were pushed to the side eventually and given more minor things to do. And uh, I definitely expected more of the Finn character for sure. It was definitely disappointing, and I can see where he's coming from. Um, before I jump into the other like piece of news that came out early this week about Star Wars casts and whatnot. Anything else that you got to say about that, man?
I mean, it definitely confirms the whole. Okay, like here's so John Boyega. John Boyega has never been someone to hold back. He's been a very open book. There's no reason for him to just come out saying this for no reason, right? With everything that's been going on with the climate of America, he's been very honest. And when he started speaking up about stuff going on in our world and injustices, like Disney came behind his back straight up, and they put out a statement saying we stand behind John Boyega and what he has to say, like something along those lines. They put a statement out. I remember that, very clearly. And it's interesting to see him come on and do this GQ interview the way that he did. I think it was intentionally done as a written piece, not a video piece. I think he probably had more to say that they just is completely cut out of this. So just to have direct quotes that he wanted to have published. I would love to find out more of his feelings, but just based on what we do have in front of us, I mean, he absolutely confirms what many of us have felt. When we're talking about, like, when he says, like, okay, the message I would send to Disney, some along the lines of basically, if you're going to have an actor of color, don't just push them to the side. And I completely agree. It was, things were set up clearly a certain way in Force Awakens, and then where we get to at the end, it's very obvious it was moved to the side. Just clearly some certain elements, and whatnot. Um, to not get too deep into it, like when he starts saying stuff like, I'm like only I'm the only actor that had to deal with like people saying I'm not gonna watch the movie because of who I am or because I'm an actor of color, something along those lines. Like that statement that he made, I think I have it up in front of me. Stand by one second. I want to make sure I quote that right. When he said, "Oh, nobody else in Star Wars cast had people saying they would boycott the movie because of them." So that statement, I know where he's come from with his heart, but that statement is absolutely not true, because you've got characters like Rose and even characters like Ray that people were straight up like, we don't like, because it's you, we don't want it, like
Yeah.
we don't care.
And then the other thing that I wanted to jump on was Daisy Ridley early this week coming out and saying that she hasn't been able to find work because of Star Wars. So she's running into the same problem that Mark Hamill
Yeah.
and to some extent, other Star Wars cast members, with the exception of Harrison Ford, back in the day, were having. Hayden Christensen had the same problem.
Absolutely.
Although he's chosen to be more on the down low than being an actual actor, right? So he shows a different path on his life, and that's great. But it's the same thing, right? So it kind of sucks, because I think Daisy really is a decent actress. I don't think she's bad at all. She's good looking, so I don't think that is a big problem, right? I think that what they were given in the latter parts of Star Wars and fan reaction has been so negative, that they just cast outs.
I mean, remember, we're talking about people like Daisy Ridley who literally shut down their social media because of
Yeah.
fan
Yeah.
reaction. Same thing with Rose Kelly Marie Tran, shut down her social media because of the stuff. There's a toxicity, I think, that needs to be talked about in the fan
Absolutely.
base of
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars.
yeah,
We've been
absolutely.
honest
It's
about it on
ridiculous.
here.
It's ridiculous.
Just
yeah.
because you don't like something doesn't mean you act like a child, or even worse.
Exactly.
That's but we're not blind to see that there's absolutely stuff that was wrong decisions made.
Yep.
I think it's not as cut and dry as people want it to be. There's a lot of complicated pieces that go into this. Like, I think you take even like someone like Kathleen Kennedy out of this, it doesn't necessarily mean it just magically gets to be great. Like, there's a lot of pieces that goes into it that he's even talking about. Like, you can't just have representation for the sake of representation. Like, there has to be meaningful characters, and that's the point, right? Like, Star Wars is supposed to be a great story, a really powerful world that we live in. And like his statements, it's not the same at all, but it reminded me of like how you said, Obed, like people from the past, like Harrison Ford, some of the comments that he made after, being in Star Wars. I remember Natalie Portman, like her saying, I will never let my kids watch the prequel movies or whatever, right? Like, it's not the same thing by any stretch, but I'm just saying, like, there's definitely a lot of things that come with being in Star Wars for sure. And it doesn't help when you feel like the issues you have has a lot to do with because of who you are or how you were treated because of who you are. His Star Wars experience, he says it's simply because he was a person of color. But look, I think that him being pushed to the side, Obed, like that whole change happening with his character, like I strongly believe this has to do with Kathleen Kennedy saying, I only want Rey to be in the focus of this movie. I want it to be a female specific character. I mean, I don't need to get into it much. We've talked about before, but the reason why you have Mark Hamill, bite the dust and be the way he was, because she didn't want Luke to overshadow Rey. Because let's be real, dude. In reality, Finn should have gone with Rey to that same planet to the island with Rey to give the lightsaber to Luke. There's no point why she just goes by herself at that moment.
Exactly.
Like all those details, I think many fans have pointed out. Star Wars Theory has talked about it at point and about how he should have been probably trained in the Force at some point. There's plenty of things that could have happened, should have happened, but it's a lot more complex. And hopefully, Star Wars learns going forward. I'm glad for articles like this that just puts it all out there. He's not afraid to say it.
Yeah, it just really stinks, man. And I'm just like I'm over. My love for Star Wars has not been diminished, but I am just over Kennedy. Like I am so freaking done. And Disney's now saying, I guess, that there was a company-wide memo saying that they're no longer going to pursue agendas because the whole get woke, go broke thing, it's real right now.
Attitude.
Yeah,
like, we got to make sure we do this for the sake of doing it.
Exactly. So I really do hope that they move away from that, and I am just so over Kathleen Kennedy right now. Dude. It's like screw it. I'm done. Like I have zero confidence. So yep.
And let's look. I mean, she came out with that article that had a lot of troubling
stuff.
The
next day after I said that she's been missing, she came out of her carbonite sleep, and
which I'm sure was being cooked from like the week before that article, and I know a lot of fans took trouble with some of the statements she said. Like, it's funny, she kind of retracted her whole statement about, remember, like, we're going to push all this canon stuff to the side and not look at it and do new stuff. Well, now she kind of took that statement back and is like, no, we're going to go back to what George did and what exists beforehand and try and look. And like, that's what people were saying from the beginning. I'm glad that you're able to acknowledge that instead of taking your pride, because it's been put that way for too long, prideful, but it's this painful reality hearing somebody say this. Like, man, you could have saved yourself a lot of time, a lot of pain.
I gotta change topics, dude. I gotta change topics. I'm about to bump this to a PG-13 here, and I don't want to.
Revenge of Obed.
Yeah, revenge. Good. Man. So, Jill, Nintendo had the long rumored Mario 2020 35th anniversary Nintendo Direct this morning out of nowhere. And a lot of things got announced, and there's a lot to be happy about. They finally confirmed that Super Mario 3D All-Stars, basically, or Super Mario 3D Collection is real. That will encompass Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. No Galaxy 2, which I heard is a superior game, which is interesting. So maybe they're planning to probably just release that as a standalone.
Make more money.
Yeah, exactly. Probably make more money on that one. Um, I went ahead and pre-ordered it, Joel. Just because Nintendo came out and said that this is going to be a limited production run of this game. The game comes out this month on the 18th, but it's going to be on production or in circulation up until March 31st of next year. So this is like the Disney Vault Nintendo style, basically. I'm not sure if the digital version is going to be available up until that day as well. Based on what they said on the Direct, it kind of sounded like it.
Yeah, it sounds like they're gonna cut it off.
Yeah, they're gonna cut it off. And that is not the only game. They have that Super Mario 35, which is basically a Super Mario Brothers Battle Royale. It's Super Mario Brothers 1, and it has a 35 player mode. And what you do on your game affects the other players, and same to yours. It looks nuts, man. So I think that game's gonna be live up until March 31st, which is weird because March 31st is the ending of their fiscal year.
True.
But I think next year, but if I'm not wrong, next year is the 35th anniversary of Zelda, and I think they want to probably just focus on doing like the sequel to Breath of the Wild, maybe bring Wind Waker HD. There's rumors of Skyward Sword coming out on the Switch, so we'll see about that. They also announced Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury that's coming out next year on February 12th. I heard this game was supposed to come out next month, and it got delayed because of the human malware. So, yeah, but it's still coming out. It looks good. It's Super Mario 3D World. I saw that they added the Super Mario Brothers 2 like character unique abilities. Like Luigi has the floaty jump, and Peach can float, and Toad can run fast, and Mario's more balanced. So I saw that. I'm not sure what that DLC is or that Bowser's Fury thing is. It looks very cryptic at the end of the trailer, but it looked good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. They announced a Game and Watch with Super Mario Brothers included on it. No date on that one that I saw. I don't know if you saw a date for that Game and Watch and price. But it's basically a Game and Watch with Super Mario Brothers on it, and it has a few like 30. It has 35 Easter eggs on the game, so or in the mode. It's a Game and Watch, so you can use it as a clock. That was the purpose of the Game and Watch back in the day. You can use it as a desk clock and a game. So yeah, that was pretty neat. Kind of looks like a Game Boy Micro. Remember the Game Boy Micro?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Maybe a little bit bigger for sure, but it looks very interesting. Joel, and then they unveiled the freaking coolest toy in the history of toys.
Oh my!
And it's this Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and this is bonkers, dude. But if this thing works, because that's the catch, right? If this thing actually works, it is. This is like, why am I not a kid? I'm a kid at heart, though.
I was gonna say, why not be a kid?
I'm a kid at heart, but this is nuts. So basically, it's a Mario Kart RC toy that you control with your Switch, and the toy has a camera. So on the screen of the Switch, you get basically an AR track with your opponents, and if you get hit by a shell, your car stops. And it's like full Mario Kart, dude. And then
but it's real.
And then what's cool is that you can create your own track.
Yes.
So it has these checkpoints that you place around your house, and that's the checkpoints that basically you use to create your track. Man, I saw that and it's nuts.
And
dude.
then your friend or family member can have another vehicle, put it down,
Luigi
same thing
vehicle.
live.
Yep.
So you have Mario and Luigi driving around.
It's
That's
insane, dude.
that is insane. Like at that point, like why would it not work? I feel like they went that far to make this thing.
So
Like I feel like this is gonna be a huge hit,
so
man.
so I think this is the evolution of Toys to Life. This is the evolution of what Skylanders and
Yes, I
Disney
remember
Infinity
Skylanders.
and
Yeah.
Disney Infinity and all these things were back in the day where you place your character on a reader, your character comes on screen, but this time the toy is actually moving. It's amazing, dude. It is amazing. I did not expect this. And by far, this is the coolest thing they showed today. Because yeah, having the games and everything is great, right? But this is like
This is innovative.
this is
This is
innovative.
different. This is
Exactly.
new. And especially the way they revealed it was so cool because I'm just watching like, okay, it's this little boy playing like Mario Kart on his couch, and then there's this car that's driving around, and next thing you see a camera, and then you're like, wait, he's playing what the
It's yeah.
what the car is actually doing. It's phenomenal. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out that Nintendo Direct in general. Watch the Mario Kart live sequence with the RC Racer vehicle. It's amazing.
It's really cool. I'm also glad that that Mario Sunshine's out of the GameCube purgatory. So finally, man, about time. I saw a lot of people complaining that these games are not remakes or remasters. They sort of are remasters because they run on a higher resolution and a better frame rate in essence. But remastering a game like Mario 64, and I told you that I've played Mario 64 emulated, and the game has not aged well when it comes to like graphics and the camera, right? Gameplay still holds up okay. It's not as bad as, I don't know, like Spawn on the PS1 or something that terrible, but it's playable. It's definitely playable. I mean, it's gonna be a shocker for a lot of people when
Right.
they buy this game and they play Mario 64 and they're like, oh my god, Mario 64 is amazing, and they play 10 minutes and like, oh my god, and then the nostalgia glasses get taken off. Yeah, Mario 64 is fine. It holds up okay, but not great. It's the same thing that I say about Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII. That game, in my opinion, just doesn't hold up. It's special for a lot of people, and it's a lot of people's like favorite game ever. But it just doesn't hold up. Maybe that newer version that came out with the upscaled graphics and the quality of life stuff added to it. Maybe that's quite a bit better, but definitely not when it came out. So. But yeah, man, I'm just happy that these games are out, and happy for 3D World that's actually making it out of also the Wii U purgatory. So I'm buying both for sure. Like I said, I pre-ordered the Mario 3D All Stars, and then Mario 3D World for sure. I'll get it when it comes out because that's probably the game that I really wanted to play on Wii U. So I'll probably just get it. But yeah, Nintendo, man. Bringing it.
Yeah,
They
it was
bringing
a
it.
great event.
Yeah, it was really good. Also, if you're a PC fanboy, it's lots to be excited about. Cause, oh my goodness, these new Nvidia cards are bananas. So Nvidia announced their new 3000 series GPUs, the RTX 3070, 3080, and 3090. What's crazy, Joel, is that right now a 2080 Ti goes for around 1300, maybe 1500 right now. The 3070, which is MSRP at $499, has the same processing power. So just to give you an idea of what a 1080 Ti can do, it can basically run any modern game minus Flight Simulator. That's a whole different ball game. it could basically run any modern game that's out right now at 4K 60, and could go over. I saw a benchmark of Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order, everything on ultra settings at 4K, and it was running around 73, 75 FPS, so it was between that. It was definitely higher than 60. I think it made it to like 90 in certain areas. But this card is nuts. Like, this is like top of the line, top tier stuff. So their cheap card now, which is $500, can't do that. So the next bump up, the 3080, its MSRP is $699, and this one is like Xbox Series S territory. Like, this is like blowing that out. Actually, if you pair it with a proper CPU, it'll blow out the next consoles. Like at $700, yeah, it'll blow them up. It'll blow them away. It's insane. It's crazy what these guys did. Just to and then we have the 3090. Now to move a 3090, you probably have to rent your own substation from Duke Energy, and put some liquid nitrogen inside your computer so you can cool it down. This thing is a monster. This thing is gigantic. The card itself is nuts. It's that one's priced at $1,500 MSRP, and these are the founder versions of the cards, like the ones made by Nvidia. You'll probably be able to get like a ASUS ROG Strix and an MSI version of these cards. So this is what it is as basically their founders. Just to give you an idea, Joe, I'm like, it's so crazy, dude. That was like, I'm at a loss. So I lost my here we go. So like right now the 3090, it's clocking at 36 teraflops, which is basically 3 times the power of an Xbox Series X. So I mean, it's 3 times the price too. Not considering that you need to build a PC around it as well, and you can't use, an i3 to pair it with this thing. You gotta spec it out. It does just a low end. The 3070 is 20 teraflops. So just a cheap card, it has more power than PS5 and Series X. But what do you think, dude?
Well, I think the timing of this is great. Like, we're in the midst of the console wars, coming up again, of course, and the master that is the PC comes in here now with another new piece of technology here from Nvidia. These guys are putting out some real powerful, crazy specs. I can't wait to see this in action. Because we're talking this kind of teraflops, bro. Like, it's gonna be visibly crazy.
Yeah, so 3090, they're saying that this is like 8K 60, like, capable. So
it's beautiful.
It's nuts. AMD is supposed to reveal their is it their 6000 series? Yeah, their 6000 series soon. Rumor is that they're gonna have something very competitive, and they're gonna have something that's gonna be close to that RTX 3070 for like half of the price. That's how AMD rolls. So like right now, the 5700 XT from AMD, it's about the same as a I want to say a 2070, just a like a 2070 Super maybe, because they're toe to toe. 2070 the thing with the Nvidia, right, is that you have that native ray tracing baked in. which AMD does not have. AMD is doing it now on their chips. Nvidia, they did it 2 years ago when they released the 2000 series. So we'll see what AMD comes out with. AMD's thing is gonna be, I think, next month, and they're gonna because they're waiting for, like, based on what I heard is that AMD's waiting for consoles price the new console prices to come out, and then they're gonna reveal their stuff because AMD's making the chips for the new consoles, so they don't want to like compete directly against them, so they're waiting for that to be out of the way, and then they'll announce their stuff. I mean, they already said that they're gonna have a revised Zen 2 for this year architecture for their CPUs, and they're gonna come up with a more advanced architecture next year. But the new cards are supposed to be like a pretty substantial leap forward. So yeah, we'll see about that, man.
For sure.
Yeah, it's interesting for real. Joe, Ubisoft made a boo boo, and they sort of kind of started spilling the beans about PS5's backwards compatibility. And what's interesting is that they came out and said straight up that it is compatible with PS4 titles, but not PS3, 2, and 1. They later retracted and said, "Oh, we don't know if it's going to be compatible with all the PS4 titles." Like that's something it's a line that Sony has been walking around it, not really giving us a lot of information. But it sounds interesting that Ubisoft is straight up saying, "I was like, oh yeah, we're not worried about coming with stuff for next gen like right away because things are going to be backwards compatible." So you being a Ubisoft connoisseur, due to your love for Assassin's Creed, what do you think of this, man?
It's not a big deal, guys. Like, it's something that's maybe slightly disappointing if you had prior expectations of, like, okay, I'm gonna bring my whole library over and blah 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 blah. But guess what, guys? Surprise! I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5 so I can play PlayStation 5 games.
Exactly.
So I have my console. I have my PS4. I have my PS3. I have my PS2. I have my PS1. I have all of them sitting right there. If I need to pop those in, I got them. They're ready to go. But when I have my PS5, it's gonna be so I can play PS5 games. I mean, I'm making light of the fact that, yeah, I would have liked to have been able to have played, of course, PS3 titles or whatever on there, right? Okay, but even just having PS4 directly the last gen, having that access, even if it is limited, we're not sure yet. That to me, that's too soon to make that jump. Ubisoft's not the one to put that out there. I mean, they're not gonna. That's gonna be a Sony thing to really clear that up. I don't know what's going on there, but regardless, having some type of PS4 compatibility, that's going to be good enough for me. Look, guys, I mean, that's the most straightforward answer I can give. I'm going to be playing PS5 so I can play PS5 games. This isn't a deal breaker. This isn't an issue for me at all. And like I've been telling you a bit, I'm holding off. Like Marvel's Avengers just came out, right? I want to play that. I'm holding off because guess what? I'll probably play it on next gen at some point. I know reviews are, half and half, whatever. But I think I'll probably play it on next gen. There's no point in me spending money right now when I got to put every dollar aside I can for that PS5. Unless, Sony, you're listening, you want to send me a copy for review
purposes. Yeah, I actually heard Avengers is doing pretty good in the the early impressions that I've heard. I heard it's okay. I heard the story mode's really good. So that's a game that we talked earlier this week, and I told you that I thought that game was going to be a huge dud. So I mean, we'll see.
Being Madden.
Yeah, we'll talk about Madden in a second. But the one thing of interest, Joe, that came out this week, Tokyo Game Show is at the end of this month. I think the 24th through the 27th. And Xbox said that they're gonna be a Tokyo Game Show. But they're not gonna do anything next gen. They're not showing anything. Why are you going? to show Game Pass. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I think Game Pass is great, right? But if you have a PS5 and then you have an Xbox, right? And then you go Ratchet and Clank looks awesome. Game Pass. Oh my god. Horizon Forbidden West looks amazing. Game Pass. That seems to be what Xbox is doing, and I'm concerned because I don't like these guys are not ready to launch. They are not ready to launch, man, and I don't know why are they launching. I don't know. I'm very concerned. I don't know what's going on at Microsoft. I don't know what's going on at Xbox. I mean, we've heard rumors that about the Xbox division, and for years now since Ballmer left the company. So we've heard a few things, but man, at the same time, it's like, well, what are you guys showing? Oh, Game Pass. Like, oh, we're showing multiplats. Yeah, we're here. We have a nice controller, but by the time Tokyo Game Show comes around, I mean, next week there's speculation that on the 9th we're gonna get the a price reveal and a date for PS5. That could be a possibility. So these guys at Xbox, man, they really they gotta do something. They gotta change their messaging, because I'm not gonna spend $500 to play the same games that I can play on my console that I already have, that I paid, whether it be $400 or $500, whatever version of the Xbox One you got. They still haven't announced the Xbox Series X. Series S. Little Billy is gonna get really frustrated with that this holiday season, sir. And there's a leak saying that, yeah, this is like Xbox Series S, and Microsoft was like, no, it's not real. You pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So, yeah, man.
I we were talking about Kathleen Kennedy. I have no faith in Phil Spencer, man.
I don't think Xbox fanboys believe Phil anymore.
I don't know what's going on there, but I don't have faith in this guy. Like, I think Microsoft's I have a lot of respect for Microsoft as a company. They're cool people.
Their Office 365 people have things under control, man.
Yeah,
gotta say that thing is stable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I remember when Xbox One, the Xbox One came out. I remember Major Nelson going around, Larry, right? When he was going around like really trying to get like gamers on board. I miss seeing like that kind of attempt, like seeing them like I remember he was on Major Nelson was literally went. I remember he literally went to Boogie. He actually went to his house.
The lightsaber fight.
Yeah, like he straight up went to his house, brought an Xbox with him, and he was like, "Let's play and let's talk about this."
Yeah,
like I miss seeing that kind of Microsoft,
that engagement,
right? Like even if they may not be where they need to be, that attempt, that like real. So I don't know, man, what's going on, but hopefully, things change and turn around there, because I don't like to see this kind of.
Well, that's the thing, situation. Right? Eventually, Xbox is gonna be a service. It should have been a service now, right?
Yeah.
Like, they should not have come out with a new console. They should have said, from now on, Xbox is a service, and Xbox Live and Game Pass is gonna be available on a PS4, and to some extent the Switch.
Yeah.
Really, because that's basically that's Microsoft's model right now. Like, yeah, they sell laptops, but they don't sell Dell number laptops, right? They sell their hardware, but they're not making gangbusters on these things. If anything, they're probably losing money with some of the Surface products. That they should have just taken the opportunity and just make Xbox a service at this point, to be honest with you. And if you have internal studios, just release those games for everything. Do a Sega. That's what's different, right? Because Microsoft does have the capability of doing hardware. Mm-hmm. At the time when Sega, when the Dreamcast was announced that it's gonna be discontinued and Sega is gonna move away from doing hardware, and they're going to concentrate on being a publisher / developers for every platform. Sega was bankrupt at that point. Like, they had no money. Microsoft is in a position where they can do whatever they want, but at the same time, is that what you want? Is that what your fans want? Fans wanted first party AAA exclusives. They didn't get any, like a very few last gen or the Xbox One gen. They were able to secure deals with Japanese developers, like what they did with the Xbox 360. So I think they at least made an attempt with the Xbox 360. It seems like they really like backtracked, and they're like afraid of taking a risk. So it's kind of unfortunate, because I really want them to be competitive, but it's just that it seems to me that they are not competitive. I don't know if you saw, Joe, there was a really interesting thing about Gamescom, because IGN posted like results on the IGN Facebook page. It was like, most wanted hardware, the Xbox Series X, but their poll on Twitter was like 80% PS5 and 20% Xbox. Why are you doing this thing? It's kind of weird, but I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of Xbox apologists out there. I don't really care. I'm not into the console war stuff. The PlayStation is my platform of choice because Sega went under. If Sega was still around, I'd still be a Sega dude. But it's my reason.
Awesome.
By the way, you gotta watch High Score. You gotta get to that.
I know, man.
Nintendo and Sega episode.
I'll get there.
It is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend that everyone watches that. So when you watch the series, Joe, we'll talk about it on the show, because I really want to talk to you about it. Yeah. We'll discuss. We'll have a discussion. Spoiler discussion. Joe, let's talk about Madden, because you brought Madden up and I had it on the topics. 63 on Metacritic right now. Users
for the critic response, right?
For the critics' response, user score is 0.3. It is the lowest rated game possibly ever.
That's some serious
bad.
Hate, man. That's some serious. They've angered people.
It is bad. Out of the critics' reviews, 4 positive, 18 mixed, 1 negative. The 1 negative comes from DualShockers. So, I don't want to go over the user score, because like user score bombing on Metacritic it's a known thing, right? And I don't really want to. I don't want to really go into that. But if you're interested in knowing what the stats are, 23 positive, 9 mixed, 2,232 negative.
Not even close.
Yeah, it's like it's stale. It's the same. Nothing's changing. I don't know why the NFL kept that contract with EA, like that perpetuity not perpetuity contract, but that exclusivity contract. They should have just reached back out to 2K, because 2K was like destroying EA, dude. This is so bad to the extent that I sent you a message this morning. Was it this morning or yesterday morning? I think it was yesterday morning.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a message yesterday morning that there's what was it? Is a marketing manager or marketing brand manager?
Open. Yeah,
it's open because that person either got fired or quit over this whole crap ton of of not good stuff that's going on.
It's a mess.
It's bad. So I'm not a Madden guy. I gotta be honest with you. I could care less. I know it's big because I know Madden guys, and Madden guys. This like a holiday. Like they take their day off.
Absolutely.
They pick up their copy of Madden at GameStop and they go back home and play it. I know that you probably have more experience with it. But from what we can see, Joel, and you being a marketing guy, tell us what's happening.
The problem is they put this out as a new game and it isn't. You sold people on something that's going to be, okay, guys, we're bringing a completely new experience. And the exact thing that they're being called out on by fans is it's a copy and paste. There's nothing new going on here, right? If you are putting out this game, you have to then put it as like, this is the next iteration with new rosters and keep it as simple, low expectations. But by having this be something where people are saying, look, even the people are complaining about the graphics, people are complaining about all kinds of stuff.
Glitches.
You have Patrick Mahomes come out on the Xbox Microsoft event that they had, coming out like, oh yeah, guys, this is gonna be great, cool, taking time out of a segment that's supposed to be talking about the future, and it falls flat, and people are gonna call you out for it if you're putting this thing out there from a perspective of this new really cool thing, and then you're delivering something that is subpar. It's not even like acceptable. It's below. So people are just not gonna have it. They're gonna have enough. They're gonna be upset about it. So yeah, the messaging of this whole new thing and taking the time out that they did to really try and hype it up, and Madden guys will be there. They're always gonna be there when a new Madden game is out. So you can't just glance over them, right? And I think if they would have listened from the last Madden, even
Yep.
like if they would have listened from the past and gotten that user feedback and gotten those surveys out there and really did something about it, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be having this discussion. But clearly they think that this can be a cash cow and just simply put out the same thing, copy and paste of code, and just maybe change a roster, and that's it. And then that's a problem. So It's disappointing. I'm not really that much of a Madden guy. I play Madden here or there. But I understand that is a very serious thing. So
yeah,
it's tough.
I have a theory, and it's the NHL. You remember when NHL 14 came out?
Yep.
I have a theory, and the theory is that this version of Madden that came out is an afterthought, and they're concentrating on the next gen version, and they neglected this version. It's bad. Like I don't know how you can damage control this. Like I don't know if like a job with EA is like even appealing. Because it's what's great.
I feel bad for whoever steps into it because they can't fix the game. Now they have to try and fix the image, but you can't fix the image if you don't fix the game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's kind of like a lose-lose situation if everything doesn't change.
And it's like, what's crazy is that like EA is like across this, like the Tiburon or the guys that EA Sports are across the street from our workplace. Well,
we're very well familiar.
We are. I don't know, man. I mean, I've heard the horror stories because we've talked to people that worked there and
absolutely,
and
it's well known.
It's a well known. Yeah, it's well known. Like if you know someone, if you live in Orlando long enough where you can meet someone who's like, oh yeah, I worked at EA, it was awful. Yeah,
they constantly have job postings. I feel sad. It's tough,
and it seems to be like they've had that esports director like for Madden, that job posting for like 6-8 months now. Like it's incredible. I don't know how, but what are you gonna do, right? How are you gonna push this Madden as esport?
It's tough. It's tough.
I don't. Yeah.
And another place that I would like to see some positive change. I'd like to see things go well for them, but Madden as a franchise is not in a good position at this moment. Maybe it is better off moving it to a 2K, but Maybe this will be the one that pushes EA over the ledge, and they're like, "Yep,
Yeah.
we dropped the ball,
Well,
guys."
they signed 3 more years, I think.
Right, but
So
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that they could even if you are a marketing person, you come out and you simply say like, this game suffers from the future. Like we're working on this new stuff, and we apologize for offending our fans.
yeah,
Yeah, gotta
they're in a
bite it.
rough spot right now.
Yeah,
So we'll see. By the way, just going back to high score, there is an episode on Madden. Um, because the crazy thing with EA is that EA back in the day was quality, like was equal to with quality. Like everything that EA put out was a quality product, and even up to the PS2 era, I think that to some extent we felt it. Like those Need for Speeds were good, Madden was good, the NBA games were good, but then it just like with the advent of online gaming, it just everything fell apart. Like the PS3 generation was disastrous, and now this generation, like they started like right off the bat with an NHL game that didn't even have like multiplayer or something. It was like ridiculous. Or it didn't have a season mode or something like that. It was, what are you doing, right? Why are you releasing this half-assed products? So it was crazy. I mean, they started happening. That started happening with Star Wars. Luckily, they kind of were able to turn it around with Fallen Order, and then before that, fixing all the
yeah,
issues
that's true.
that Battlefront 2 had. So, but holy crap, man! I mean, they EA fix your stuff. That's what I got, man. That's our topics for this week. Don't have anything else. I don't think there's any breaking news.
Yeah.
So if
I'm sure
that's
we'll have plenty to talk about next week, guys. I mean, between,
yeah,
I'm also making plans, Obed, to see Tenant. So before I even see New Mutants, dude, I'll see Tenant first because I need to see something good.
did you watch the Jeremy Johns review?
I did.
Yeah, it's good. It was
Ooh,
good. It was good.
ouch. It's
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I want to see that movie in theaters, man. Ooh, I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, we'll talk about next week, and also I'll be seeing Mulan. There's plenty of stuff that's gonna be happening, guys. So stay with us, stay following us. Thank you all for being here, taking time out of your day to watch or listen to us. We encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to us. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and also we're coming to Audible. So
Soon. Yeah.
that is
It's
coming.
submitted. So we'll
Yes, it
see.
is. It is in the works, guys. So we're pretty excited about that. Also, of course, our video version on our YouTube channel, in addition to our Facebook Live. Follow us on our social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Also, if you have feedback, questions, maybe you want to be a sponsor, what business, whatever it might be, you could communicate with us via email. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so very much, and we look forward to being with you on our next episode. Wakanda forever.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.